Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Sean, aka. Well, ain't you know what? We ain't gonna do the AKA. Just Big Sean. You know what I'm saying? When I'm on YouTube, it's just Big Sean. But you guys do know I'm a more CEO, whatever. But anyways, we got my boy Meech with us today, and right now we're just gonna talk about society, bro. Let's talk about society, the influences that it has on the youth, and later on down in the live, we want to discuss how can you determine whether or not your significant other, girlfriend, friend, whatever you want to call her, is a wife or wifey material. But so we're gonna call this right here guy talk with the Ben. And I say with the Ben because you know what I'm saying we two young two young men from the neighborhood that we call the Ben. And yeah, we just gonna discuss that. So yo Meech, man, first and foremost, man, how you been, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Can't really complain. Uh, just living life.
Yeah,
What
see,
about
we back at it, bro. We back at it again, man. It's like me and you. We look like we turned into a tag team right now. We always at it.
you? Yeah,
We're always at it. So the topics for the day, bro. Like I said, you know, what I'm saying that the influences that society have on the youth. Let's start with that first, bro. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about some things I noticed going on. Simply from being a father, and so we're gonna get a little deep in it. We're gonna get a little deep in some of these discussions, but. Uh, from being a father of daughters and sons, I can say that I get a chance to see the way they maneuver in today's world, in today's society, versus how I was raised and how I maneuvered in society. And I can honestly say that the next generation, man, I mean, I feel like our generation is the one that failed this generation, but the next generation is going to be like so much worse than what, you know what I'm saying, I could have imagined it being, you know, at this time. Um, and what's got a really big stronghold on everything is the media and social media and how you can live a life that's not real. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that gives the youth right now opportunity to say, "Hey, this is who I want to be," and they can pull off some kind of stunt or anything to go viral and just pretty much be that person on social media. Um, I had a discussion with my oldest daughter. She's 13, and me and her mom, you know, we kind of hurt her feelings, and we didn't know we did until she came out and let us know. But she was wanting to become TikTok famous, and I'm like, what? Like, why would you want that to be a goal? You know what I'm saying? And that's just an example of what I've noticed as a father, um, of where the youth is headed, you know what I'm saying, and what they actually look forward to doing. My son wants to be a game. At one point, I think he wanted to be like a gamer or something. And I'm like, dang, you know, I play games heavy. You know, you play games with me. We play games all the time. And I thought I probably mentioned it one time about being a gamer as a kid growing up, but not nowadays, bro. They really make a career out of want to be gamers. And I'm like, man, I just really can't find a way to balance as a father how to raise my kids to pretty much use their imagination and be a little more self-reliant versus trying to be what they see on social media, bro. So how do you feel, man? What do you think, man? Give your 2 cents on that.
uh, wow, man. My two senses on this is, pretty much because mine, I never really exposed my kids, but my kids are way too young. So all I can say too is being a new dad myself, um, is support because you can't really say no, don't do this and no, don't do that. because it's a dream killer. We came from that time where if we said, "Oh, we want to," be a firefighter, it was like, "Nah, that ain't for you." When you're a kid, you don't want nobody to crush your feelings, but it's kind of altering because you got to say there's certain things you can say and certain things you can be leaning on, but you just don't want to step on too many toes. So it's like a whole lot of a touchy kind of subject when it comes to saying what your career goals is going to be as a child, because you never know what the direction they're going to head in later on. Because they just saying that now. You feel what I'm
Okay.
saying? You know how we had, when I was growing up, I always say, uh, um, one of my career choices was like, oh, I want to be a big actor, be in the movies. As soon as I got in high school, I said, you know what, acting was like cool back in elementary, middle school days. Now be more realistic and find what I'm good at and then choose that as a career and keep going. So that's man, that is kind of a tricky thing to be leaning on as in saying on what is influence on the kids on today's generation.
Yeah, I mean, so what do you think it is though?
I think that right now it just, if one kid sees something, the other kid's going to be like, oh, let's pick that revenue because this person made such and such by doing little small things, and then they got the rest of the time being free.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I can see that they're influenced by just the freedom that another person may have just from whatever it is they're doing. Um,
Yeah.
but what's huge to me, bro, is the music right now, especially bro in the black and brown community. I've seen since what 2012 when the drill music came out, the drill scene hit, what I'm saying, the music industry, how just at such a young age now in the black and brown community and all over the world in general, but I'm just speaking specifically on the black and brown community where young young boys, I'm not even gonna call them teenagers because some of them are not even teenagers at some point. At this well, yeah, at some point, excuse me, but they're walking around and their intentions are really just to look a certain way, dress a certain way, and carry themselves a certain way where they're not to be like messed with. You know what I'm saying? Like let let's 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 um let's go over here and wreak havoc on this side of town on this group of guys because they from over this side. And don't get me wrong, gang banging and everything has been going on for many many years, and social media just probably enhanced that. You know what I'm saying? And brought a bigger light to that. But at the same time, I think gang banging was really majority young adults coming into their young adult stages in life where they're 18, 17, 15 years old and they're trying to figure out what they want to do. They jump into gang banging or whatever the case may be, and they go on about their way. Now it's down to the 10-year-old, 11-year-olds, and they're the ones, starting at that age and carrying on. And the music industry, man, in which they promote, what I'm saying, heavily on ops and killing and robbing and having all types of jewelry and cars and women and everything. So it's gotten to the point now where if you pretty much if you're not a superstar, gangbanger, or thug, or a gangster, whatever, if you're not emulating what you see on TV, you're nobody, and your career is going to be nothing. And that's the issue that I see going on with the influencing on the youth. I mean, I'm not sure if you see that, but when we grew up, when I grew up, I think the biggest artist when I grew up, dude, I'm telling you, and we in the same era, but I know you remember Ja Rule. Dan Cohen. Ja Rule was a big artist. DMX, um, Biggie and Tupac was a little early for me, but you know what I'm saying. I was listening to their music. Who else was real big? You know what I'm saying? Like a Ludacris, a Ti, but they were rapping things about streets and trap and everything like that at some point once I got older. But early on growing up, you know what I'm saying, around 11, 12, where now teenagers are wanting to walk around with guns and commit crimes. When I was that age, I think the music at that point was all about women, all about trying to pull a girl, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause, our generation, um, we we didn't really have social media. We had, a little bit older cats. Let's say between 5, 10 years, they're probably older than us. That just, showed us how to, you know, showed us how to be cool and dress like them, and you know, not dress like them, but be we call it a trendsetter like them. You know, come from the big white tees, baggy pants. Um, if your kicks is fly and colorful, and it's what everybody's kind of wearing as a trend, but different colorways. It was the introduction of fitted caps and jewelry with the grills and everything like that. And hip hop and rap really did play a big factor a lot of things. For me, I was influenced with um, Texas rap early, Memphis, because I am older than you, but I got older brothers and older cousins that always been around that was listening to UGK and 8 Ball MJG. So I was listening to a lot of them, the original Screw 'em Up clicks, mixtapes. And then, when I started to really really love into music, it was the Cash Money Crew. So yeah, it just is a lot of music that just influence kids to be who they really ain't because they got to put on this size like, I'm tough. I don't want you to mess with me, kind of thing. And that's why, it hurts a lot to see that, that violence that you bring out, you get, it get, it get back bad karma when you do that.
Yeah, because nowadays, bro, you can get a young teenager, you know what I'm saying? It don't, like, all right, for when we grew up, and I'm gonna bring this up because I remember when I got into my early teenage years, and we've been around each other so much. You probably was there when this happened, but you probably wasn't. I got into an altercation. Well, I won't say altercation, an argument with my uncle, and I felt like oh man, you old, you know what I'm saying? Like I can beat you, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like in a fight. And he really wanted to take me out and fight and show me like, hey man, you disrespecting me as an adult. I'm your uncle or whatever. And I'm gonna go out here and put hands on you to teach you a lesson. And I was really ready to go out there. I thought it was a joke, you know what I'm saying? And I quickly humbled myself when I understood the situation, like, hey, you gotta have more respect, you know what I'm saying, for an adult. So, I quickly humbled myself and apologized and got put in place where I needed to be as a kid. But nowadays, bro, kids 12, 13 years old, it don't matter if you're an adult, they'll pop you, bro. Like I ain't talking about fighting you. They'll actually shoot and kill that they actually walk around with guns to shoot and kill. Like you would just be a body to them. You feel what I'm saying? Like that spiritual um I don't know, it's like a heavy spirit of like death over like I don't know, over I won't say the world, but I'm gonna say the world. Yeah, I'm just go ahead and say the world because it's everywhere, and they really real popular. It's different nowadays. Like we went walking around carrying no guns, and I don't even know where these guns coming from, bro. Like I don't know where they getting all these guns from. I don't know if it's conspiracy that the government dropping crates in hoods or what, but they really is getting these guns from here and there. I don't know where. I don't know who's supplying these guns because I know how black and brown communities are, and I know these niggas ain't got no plugs where they going from Mexico or you know what I'm saying, getting these guns coming and bringing them back. You got to have some kind of some inside job. You know what I'm saying? People working with other people to get to where they got to get with whatever they got to get with. So nowadays, bro, it's like I feel very scared for the next generation to come up. I feel like we are part of it. If you if you know what, I don't know. Is it our generation that failed the next generation, or is it just this generation failing themselves and everybody else? Because like I'm thinking back to myself now, like if you go out now right now, you run into like a 17, 18-year-old kid right now, they'll be too old to be our, you know what I'm saying? Somebody like me or my kids, you see what I'm saying? They would have to be somebody older kids, and that generation was just right ahead of us. Maybe they was the ones who failed. I'm gonna blame it on them boys. Maybe they was the ones who failed society.
You know,
No, I'm just cracking jokes on that one, bro. That was the joke. I don't think I
uh,
don't think like I don't know, bro. Like that's a tough one for me. It's hard for me to ponder because you can put the blame in many different places. You can put it on parenting. You can put it on, you know what I'm saying, the way the government has set things up for, the black and brown community, at least to not be successful, not to find their way out of the quote unquote hood. Um, they make it where you end up in jail or you end up dead or you end up in a situation where you pretty much struggling day to day just to live in the matrix where you got to work every day 9 to 5. You feel what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
really no outlet when you're in the black and brown community. There's really no outlet for you. You only got three options, and like I said, you do have people who will make it out, and you have people who are strong enough to mentally find out like, hey man, like you don't gotta go to jail, you don't gotta kill, you don't gotta be a gangbanger, you don't gotta be a victim, and you don't gotta work a 9 to 5, quote unquote, the rest of your life in order to be successful in life. You just gotta put your mind to it and actually go after something that you're really passionate about. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah, I feel you. My take on that is this. I grew up in a single parent home. I knew of my father, but I don't know him. But I can't really say that I was fortunate on a lot of things because I uh I was mostly sheltered. You feel me? Like certain things that you went through because you had your pops. You know he was there for. He seen. He watched you grow up. See, I didn't have that advantage, and a lot of kids feel neglected and robbed because of that. Not blaming the fathers, just saying that's one of the many reasons why a lot of kids go to the streets. Another one is we don't have no we have structure, but we don't have no real structure where there's somebody to say, all right, yo, I don't think that's good for you to do that. I'm put you aside and let you do what I see that you got potential in, and it, gang culture and all this the guns and stuff. It came from big cities. It's like from the big cities, like like L.A., Miami, New York. He didn't just start the mind green and he just sneak his way on down to, closer and closer to hit home. So, man, that's a deep conversation. The we can't really point a finger at on so many, because there's so many mistakes that have been made that can't be corrected.
For sure, for sure. So, I mean, right now, with what you see going on in the music industry and the rap game, you can kind of picture what the foreseeable future is gonna look like for our youth, just based on the big name rappers right now who controlling the platforms. You got Lil Durk, you got NBA YoungBoy. That's just two big names, and right now what they doing? They beefing. They got blood spilled in between that beef. You know what I'm saying? And you got people who not even a part of the campaigns, either team's campaign, but they out here picking sides. They listen to one person music, and they get influenced to make their own music, and then they want to diss somebody just to feel a part of something. You know what I'm saying? And then the war that they have in Chicago right now is something I don't see in the foreseeable future being stopped. You know what I'm saying? Bodies dropping every single day over there. And once bloodshed, it's one of those things where it can kind of harden the heart. You know what I'm saying, and make you a cold person. And then it's just revenge after that. So, like I said, it's been blood spilled between two of the biggest artists in the rap game that influences the youth, and I just see it still being the same right now. In the foreseeable future, it being a very tough situation to get out of. How do you teach your sons right now? You know what I'm saying? How do you teach your sons right now? If they're influenced by the rap game. How do you teach your daughters? I don't know if you seen the new chick that came out, Ice Spice, bro.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, the New York, bro. Her music is so garbage, but Shorty get on there and she twerking and she got shorts, butt cheeks hanging out and stuff, and it's like, yo, she really got on just because the motive and the spiritual attachment that we have as men to just uh lust and women, because they ain't going, bro. I listen to her music. I'm like, bro, ain't, and that's a lot of people, not just her. But I just brought her up in particular because she's kind of new to the scene, and I wanted to bring up women and speak on women, the aspect of it. But just because she had on shorts, butt cheeks hanging out, and she twerking, and don't get me wrong, she a pretty girl. It's like, dang, she really about to be on. You know what I'm saying? Drake flew her out. You know what I'm saying? And now she getting millions of views. She's talked about all over the internet. It's like, dang, she really blowing up just basically because men in their lustful spirit of women just want to try her. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about the music. And when you listen to her music, it's so garbage. But she mentions things in there that's not of a high value woman. You know what I'm saying? And that leads into the next topic, bro. Because of Ice Spice and the influence that she's gonna carry with her on women, Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion, the music that they make, you know what I'm saying? It's very hurtful for women, I believe, because it's turning women to believe that um, their sexuality and the way that men are, just being able to show your body and do this and do that, it really gets you where you want to be at in life, and that's the way you should go. So, with that being said, bro, how do you know if a woman is a wife? Like, what would make a woman a wife? You feel what I'm saying?
Uh, wow. What makes a woman a wife? You know, is more than characteristics that she got to have. It got to be, it got to be something of wholesome. That got to be more with it than just characteristics. You can't just sit there and pick and say. You know, I want my wife to be loving, caring, and supportive and all that stuff. Because you know, when you got together, she's already that. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's just the wholesomeness behind it that that completes her to make her your real. You know, that's my whole intake of that because um, every man want their girlfriend to eventually be their real, but it's up to them to choose because some guys wait between 2 to 5 years, and the ones who got cold feet or simply is not ready where they want to be wait between 5 close to 10 years. But
Yeah.
back
So,
to
bro,
the subject.
bro, I got a question for you. Then I got to come. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Should you have to wait that long to know if she's a wife? You feel what I'm saying? Like, do you have
Um,
to do the traditional way and what we grew up to know, or how we portray the way that it works? You start dating, right? And obviously, early on, it's gonna be laughs and giggles and the honeymoon stages. You know what I'm saying? But like you're supposed to give it a couple of years to learn somebody, right? That's how we grew up, right? But technically, do you need all that time to determine? Because some of the factors of the things that you're not gonna like about this person is gonna come to the forefront before you even take it that far. You feel what I'm saying? So, what do you think, bro? Do you think it need to be 2 to 5 years, and if you need more time, take it even past that?
for some guys, pretty much yeah, because I have been in that shoes where I have been in a relationship and I loved the girl so much. It was just one person that just kept bumping in, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm ready. What is you gonna do?" And she claimed she was ready, but it was just that one person that kept butting in that that hindered things.
Yeah. So I mean, so at that point, I see what you're saying. It's up to the guy then, because some guys need that time. But if she wasn't budging because of that hindrance, shouldn't that have woke you up like, nah, she ain't the one then? You know what I'm saying? Because if I got to carry on with her a little longer, you know what I'm saying? I might as well just cross my dot my I's and cross my T's right there. That's it. That's all it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just trying to hang going, like trying to fix something that can't be fixed at that point.
Yeah. Well, I remember one instance. Um, a guy I was pretty cool with. He he married a girl that he had loved so much, and she had problems. He had problems. You know, but he said he stayed with her because she was pretty.
Yeah.
He had no physicality for him to ever, you know, base anything more from because he said, I just felt like he's like I felt like I just settled because she was pretty. And all the guys wanted her and I got her. And that's just gonna be the end of that.
Yeah. See,
And
he just a plum fool then, huh?
yeah, it just seeing that made me realize, like, a lot of relationships I had to cut off shortly because, I didn't want to just settle. And
Yep.
that's a lot of factors for a lot of guys deep down because, the girl got something attribute that they necessarily love, but they tolerate because they don't want another guy to have, so they decide to do it.
Word. Yeah, 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 you got some people like that. You got some people like that mental. So I think like so from my opinion and what I would say, how can you determine whether or not you got a wife? Um, First and foremost, they gotta have some type of they gotta have some type of self love of themselves. You feel what I'm saying? Like they gotta, if a woman is only if a woman doesn't really truly know who she is, then you got a problem because then she's influenced by everything that she hears around her. So you don't want a pretty girl who's always been told she's pretty by everybody and she feels entitled because everyone told her she's pretty. You want a female who isn't phased by being complimented as being beautiful. You want her to understand that her beauty is not just what people see on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So you want that beauty inside too. You want that heart of gold. You know what I'm saying? That heart of like pretty much she don't see the physical appearance as something that's her biggest and best attribute. You know what I'm saying? She see that as uh, an asset or upgrade plus or whatever you want to call it, but she really knows deep down inside who she is, and she acts on that. You feel what I'm saying? So if you find a female that truly knows who she is, obviously there's things that come with that. You want to make sure that she's supportive because as a man, and you know, like I know, as a man, we so purpose driven. You know what I'm saying? We try to do our best to impress women. We try to do our best to pretty much reach our goals. We don't feel successful if we're doing something we don't technically want to do each and every day. And if you get a woman to come in who encourages you to, keep striving to, become the person you want to become, and she's right there on your back saying, "Hey, do this. I support you." That right there is a big plus. That's a big plus right there. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a wife. Well, I can't say that's a wife just because of that or the other one. I can say that's what you should be looking for to determine whether she's a wife. Necessary. It don't got. She don't necessarily got to be a person that can cook because that's something that can be taught. You feel what I'm saying? She's had to be willing to cook. You feel what I'm saying? I say that because, um, as a man, we don't mind being the protector and the provider. You feel what I'm saying? That's reality. We understand as a man, physically, we're more physical than physically gifted than a woman. So being a protector is something that we naturally just pick up in a relationship. Being a provider as a man, we understand that we got certain goals that we want to reach in life, and we don't mind carrying our wife and kids with us, or significant other and kids or whatever family with us, because we feel like we can provide, in a better way. You feel what I'm saying? So being a protector and a provider as a man, that's something that comes natural to us. We don't mind doing that. So if you got a woman who actually understands that and supports that, so she picks up her duties or duties that we consider as men to be something that would be helpful to cook a meal for us, that's a plus. You feel what I'm saying? Um, Being able to give a man his space, because naturally I think men and women need their space. But if she's willing to give you your space so you can take that time to mentally get in a space to better the family and her, bro, that's a plus. Now, whether or not you're religiously, a Christian or whatever, I don't knock anybody's religion. Whatever religion you in, I would just say for me, I know Christianity is my religion, but if you whatever religion you in, man, I'm not gonna judge you or not, not like that. You know what I'm saying? But if your wife is willing to jump on board and support you and help you grow in your religion, and she actually grows in that religion with you, that's a plus. You feel what I'm saying? That's what you should be looking for in a wife. Nowadays it's so tough and so hard to find that because, like I said, and we go back to the reference of Ice Spice, um, just being able to shake, twerk, whatever you want to call it, twerk, show your body, and look pretty on camera. That's all you need to get what you need and get where you want to go. So I don't even know if women technically want to be married nowadays, or be a wife because they feel like it comes with so much of a baggage of cleaning the house and taking care of the kids and cooking for a man, and they look down on that nowadays because of what society is showing them, from the women's aspect. And I think as a father of daughters, I think it's important for the men to get involved in their daughters' lives in order to encourage and help them become, wifey material, what we would consider wifey material, because you don't want your daughter not to be independent, but you don't want to encourage them that independency is what's most valuable to a man, because we all understand as men, and we live in reality, in my opinion, versus what a woman will consider to be high value as a woman. A woman looks at things from the material side, in my eyes, and what a man can provide for them materialistically and money wise is what they see as a plus. You feel what I'm saying? But men, what we see from women that's very valuable to us is a low body count. You know what I'm saying? So she ain't out here just giving it to anybody. You know what I'm saying? She ain't out here messing with everybody. She ain't got a high body count. That's very, very huge. Her past is what's very important to us. You know what I'm saying? We don't want a female and say, oh, we're gonna marry her, but she done mess with the whole block. You already know what I'm talking about. Um and she's able to basically humble herself to say, hey, I'm gonna let my man lead, and I'm gonna support him and follow, and vice versa. The man should be able to support her as well, but for her to be able to humble herself to understand the role that she plays as a woman in the man's life is what we consider, I believe, as men to be high value, not somebody twerking on the video and that look good. Because the first thing that comes to your mind when you see that, and the first thing that comes to my mind as men, and I already know because we men and we understand that we live in reality, is that when you see a girl half naked and she bad, it's like, dang, she bad, bro. I hit. That's the first thing a nigga come. You feel me? That's the first thing come to our mind. We be like, bro, I hit. But we don't think like, dang, she's very valuable, or dang, I would love to make her my wife, or dang, she's the one for me. That doesn't come to our mind because it's like we already know mentally what type of time you on. You know what I'm saying? Because you just out here showing your body. Everybody see your body now, and 9 times out of 10, the niggas with money gonna hit you up, and you gonna, you know what I'm saying? The boys gonna just run through you because they got the money, and you feel like that's what is important to you as a woman. But it's it's definitely unfortunate that men don't play a big role in their daughters' lives as much as they try to play a big role in their sons' lives. I've noticed that's where we probably made a mistake with our women, is the fact that the men don't play as big of a role, and the women that we used to know that that wasn't very independent because of the roles they played, they kind of forgot to pass on those traits of actually being a wife, and everything that was passed down became independent women. And now you got all these independent women who consider they don't need a man, and when they do want to get a man and get into a state of marriage and family, they've already got a kid to 2 or 3 people maybe, or they already got baggage that comes with them. Maybe their past has been, they've been with this guy, that guy, they've been exposed or whatever, and you're not going to get a man that wants to marry you and treat you like a queen after all that stuff in your past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. Some women, some women be emotionally abused to a point where they have that, and they have to be assurance that, okay, yes, I have this baggage, but how do I know that you're going to be different? You feel me? Because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
look,
I see what you're saying. Like
yeah,
they come in expecting you to be the same as other guys, but I think because you always gonna get that one. So I'm not saying a girl with a high body count or that been and had a past can't find a husband or a man, but it's very hard to do so once a man finds out your past. Because the question to you is, You got two women, right? Both beautiful women, right? I'm putting a scenario out for you to answer this question. You got two beautiful women, right? You don't know neither one of their past, right? But you get the chance to know both of these women, and you end up liking both these women, right? But
Yeah.
one of the women, you find out that she used to be, um, she been ran through by the block. Like everybody done had that already. Which woman you gonna choose? You like both of them now. One don't have a past, and the other one do. So one got a high body count, and the other one don't. Which one you choosing? Because they both give you, they both, right now, they both fulfill everything you're looking for in a woman. They both nice, they both beautiful, they both queen material. From what you um generated from them. And in your eyes, they both wifey material, but you find out that one of them got a pass and the other one doesn't. Which one are you choosing?
Well,
You making this tough. I thought you were gonna be on choose by now.
dog, to be real, I'm gonna pick the one with the pass because I got a pass too. So hey,
True, true. And see, I like the honesty because I honestly thought you was gonna go the opposite way because I would have. But when when you look at the one with the past, and I like that. I like that you said that because now you make it like, you don't want to judge somebody based on their past because you got a past too. But I can tell you this right here, right now, right? I can tell you this right here. If you was a man that had millions of dollars, right, and these two same women were talking to you, right, but you end up going broke, do you think now you going broke, you went broke, you don't got nothing now, you broke. Do you think you'd be able to keep that woman with that past that you chose?
uh, characteristically, yeah, because because characteristically, she was looking for somebody who wasn't gonna be based on judging her, and she had fine confidence in me to know that I wasn't going to do that. A
Okay.
lot of us are loyal on that whole subject, as yeah, they got a high body count, or and I have girls who had low body counts. You know, it's just depending on them. Honestly, you can't really just say
Yeah.
you're going broke will they leave or anything like that, because
Facts, facts. I, li-
I
I,
have
li- I,
seen
I like
it.
your takes on these, bro. You got some good takes on these. Yep.
Yeah, because I have seen it from both different ways and views. Because I mean, you see some of the girls I used to bring around, some of the girls I used to bring around, you know,
But honestly, you got some good takes, but you're speaking to that, maybe that 1% of the women, because most women, they don't see value in a man who don't have anything that can provide for them, uh materialistically. A woman can say they want compassionate men, men who love them, men who uh just men in general who do everything that they're asking for. But the main deal breaker for men, and from what women see, is if you broke, because obviously the next man who got money who come in, they can swoop her up from under her feet. If she got a past, that's another red flag, because at some point people got to understand that sexually, that's a spiritual connection right there. That's a spiritual connection between a man and a woman, and all that baggage that comes along with that. So you got a person who got a high body count, and now you're broke. This person who's used to getting any man she wants, or however she want the man, If she feels frustrated in any type of way because you can't provide the lifestyle that she wants or provide for her and her kids or whatever she would like to say, that's a no-no. Now someone can swoop in because what's going to happen when a man goes broke or can't provide for his woman, that's going to put a big hindrance and frustration over that man. And I know just from experience, and I know just in general, like as a man, no man wants to be broke. So a man is always trying to find a way to hustle something, or he's always trying to find another avenue to get into where he can make money. Now, don't get me wrong, you do have bums, niggas who don't really care and all kind of stuff like that. But that's just a very low percentage of men. Most men want to be very successful. You know, most men want to be successful. If you ask pretty much any man what they want to be successful, they're gonna say yeah. If you ask any woman, do they want to be have a successful man? They would say yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So the percentage you're talking about, I understand because you definitely right about that. Whatever every answer you gave was definitely right, and I didn't even see it that way. The way that you was talking, I was looking in the general aspect of things, and then you brought me right back down to a humble state of like, yeah, yeah, he right, bro, because that can be this case and that case, but just in general speaking, that way no one hears your take and think like, oh yeah, yeah, she got a high body count, but I like her. Let me go ahead and wife her up, and now you got all that baggage to now handle, um because at some point that's going to be your baggage to handle all that body count, all the men hitting her up from years past saying, hey yo, remember we used to kick it, da da da, woo woo woo, or I got this now, or she sees a man she used to mess with, now he's in a higher place than you are, and she's wondering to herself now like, why am I with you and you broke, and the man I was with before, he got money, I'm going back over that. You feel what I'm saying? It's just a whole bunch of baggage and things that come and can occur with a woman with a past, and especially if a man gets into a place where he no longer can provide the way that he want to, that frustration that comes with him, you will see that uh, brought to life in the relationship where he's maybe speaking down on her or speaking down on himself or getting down on himself or getting down on her. And that's just things that people don't really mind or pay attention to, but it's very important. And I think that men and women, when it comes to marriage, because uh, people got to understand when it comes to marriage, it's no longer a you and I thing. It's a man thinks shouldn't think for himself, and a woman shouldn't think for herself. They should then at that point think for togetherness. Like I've been through this because I'm in a marriage. Obviously, you're not married at the moment, but you've been in relationships yourself where you understand what you could understand what I'm saying, but at the same time you can't because you're not married. But I would think sometime for myself, what's good for me in this relationship, or what's good for me in life. And I had to stop and think and remind myself, like, dang, I'm thinking for myself. I'm supposed to be thinking for me and my wife. So if I get in a position where everything comes back to self, 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 I was in a bad position. I wasn't supposed to be thinking that way. And that hinders relationships and marriages a lot. And I think once you and your wife, or you know what I'm saying, if you soon to be wife, once you guys understand the fact that you think for togetherness versus self, um, I think that's when the marriages grow very strong and grow in a place where you both can prosper versus thinking of self.
Yeah, that's true.
For
But
sure. But you definitely have some good takes though, bro. You had me thinking like, dang, this nigga right here right for real. And I was like, yeah, you know what, he right, but he right for that small percentage of women. Cause I know I know for sure right now, if you've been on any kind of YouTube or podcasts and you hearing what women are saying nowadays, bro, it's ridiculous. You got women who got high body counts, bro. Listen to this now. They've been exposed by so many men with sleeping with this person, doing this person, being ran through, and they get on social media or any podcast, radio station, YouTube, and they say, "Yeah, I don't want a man who makes less than $100,000 a year." It's like what? You don't, you know what I'm saying? They putting these high standards on it. Oh yeah, he can't, if he can't make 100 more than me or make $100,000 a year, I don't want him. And what makes things so freaking difficult is that a woman can get an OnlyFans, right? Um, have all types of sexual content on it and make a million, couple hundred thousands in a year, and then say they don't want a man making less than them when a man can be out here building skyscrapers and everything, driving truck, helping the world rotate and move around, and don't make near as much as the girl do just from flaunting herself. But the woman sees that as not good enough. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, you can't provide a lifestyle that I want because you don't make as much money as I do or more. It's like, bro, I'm listening to this stuff. I'm thinking like, dang, it's really gonna be tough for the next generation to really find marriage, bro, because you got women on these platforms teaching the young women that if a man doesn't make more money than you or make over $100,000 or $200,000 now, which is really outrageous prices they put on. Oh, some men can't even. If you make less than $1 million a year, they don't want you and stuff. And it's like, when when did the amount of money a man make a year determine what type of woman that he gets? I thought the whole courtship aspect of a man and a woman was how he actually treats you, and the effort that he put forward to, what I'm saying, gain your interest. That's not even a thing no more, bro.
Yeah, you're right. But I have seen a lot of shows like that, and only one word, only one word answer that can just kill all of that right there. Shadow. Like they shallow, very very shallow. It's like where do you determine that? God forbid that they meet the right guy that got all the attributes, and then this is where they gonna kick their own self in the tail when they find out they don't make the money that they was looking for. Now they got to look at reality and say, "Oh my God, this was my soulmate this whole time, and I've been dissing guys like him because I was infatuated with the money." That is nothing but shadowness. And what shadowness bring? Shadowness bring ignorance. Because a lot of people will say a lot of things now as in the moment because they're up. They're not looking back on the moments where they're gonna go back down. People forget about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I have no knock on social media and OnlyFans and stuff like that. Um, I'm not subscribed to any OnlyFans, females or anything like that. I don't even. I think I've been on OnlyFans when it first came out to see what it was about, see what the hype was about, and this was back in 2015, probably. I think that was the year it came out. I'm not sure, but that was the only time I ever got on OnlyFans, and I just can't comprehend the fact that women actually make a really good living off of OnlyFans when in the end it leaves a void for what a real woman is, because we understand that women back in the days, and not to say that women needs to be like women back in the days. I understand like times will change and women should change, and the rights to do this and the rights to do that. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying women back in those days, bro, if you was beautiful in a respectful way. Like, you didn't have to see you didn't have to see the girl get naked or twerk or do none of that. You understand? It was like she made you laugh. You know what I'm saying? She did stuff that was like very generous and kind to show her beauty. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, oh, subscribe to my channel or something, or do this, and it's gonna cost you 10, $15 to get on there to see stuff that you can see for free, for real, if you get on the internet. And it's like, They really paying money, and that's adding that aspect to like, oh, women saying like, oh, I don't need a man for nothing. I can go get this. I can go get that. And that's what they're looking for. The lifestyle, bro, the materialistic lifestyle of being able to get on social media, show every man in the world what they got, what they working with, get all the money, and then go buy Birkin bags, you know what I'm saying? McQueen, all the top name designers, and just walk around and say, "Yeah, I'm doing this. I did that. I do this. I do that. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a high value woman. I don't sleep with this many men, but I get this much money." And it's like, no, you're missing the whole point as a woman. You know what I'm saying? You should be respectful of your body, and only person that should see that body would be somebody that would be your husband. They find that lifestyle to be so boring. You feel what I'm saying? But I think that, partnership, marriage is a partnership, and it's a working partnership. And you're not going to get too many marriages in the upcoming future and the soon to be future simply because you got women who find being independent now is is the way to go. And I'm not knocking women who are independent. I think a woman who's independent is very much needed in the world, but I think a woman that's independent, that understands that when she is in a marriage, that is no longer a her thing, and she thinks for, like I said, togetherness, just like a man needs to think when he's in a marriage, then we'll be in a much better place. But you really don't see that nowadays. Everybody's rushing into a marriage and everybody's thinking for self. And I'm getting on the men on this one too. We get into marriages sometime too as men, and we lose focus on what it is that we should be doing as a husband and a man because we thinking for self. That's the same flaws that a woman has. Men has flaws too. Like we just was speaking on the youth and the direction that they was going in, and men play a big role in why our youth is on the streets doing what they're doing. Fathers not stepping up, being fathers to the young boys, teaching them how to be men, and the men also play a big role in the women not teaching their daughters how to be a respectful uh, and self type of woman up until she gets to marriage. Um,
Hold on. I mean, there's two takes on that because uh, I feel like men are are a good point of value of looked at point to be blamed, but women is too. And the first person that come to mind that give out this blueprint is that everybody don't look at is Lil Kim. Lil Kim is like the starter of this whole generation where it's okay to show your body. It just trickled down throughout the generations. Cause mine now, you think about it, what Lil Kim was just showing off in bikinis and stuff.
yeah, I ain't think back too far that way. Shoot, the
I mean,
it wasn't nobody before Lil Kim doing that. No.
it was, you had Salt and Pepper, but they was closely on, like they had clothes on, but the only like figure of that time was Lil Kim because she was wearing, you know, pants and bras and showing pretty much everything. I don't know if you ever seen that footage of her at the VMA Awards, but she had her breasts out. She had, one breast cover up and the other one just, with the little sticker thing. And I forgot the OG. One of the OGs, smack a breast, and they was laughing on TV,
Word.
and then it
Well,
just trickled down. So yeah, I then I realized too that a lot of people also slept on. We missing grandmas.
yeah,
We really are missing grandmothers. A lot of these, a lot of the foundation can't be put on just the parents.
I
We
think I think I think the grandmothers now are just being here very young. I think you're getting very young grandmothers,
yes,
women who weren't ready to be grandmothers yet, who haven't really at themselves really got that experience as a woman. I think you got grandmothers now in their 40s. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, because it just generation. It's like a It's not a generation gap. It's just generation with another generation without the before generation growing up to experience where that to tell the next generation, yo, you know, wait for this, wait for that, because we we, it is so much of a short gap that we have. It really is.
True.
Our parents had us, kind of a little bit after out of high school, somewhere where they was establishing, career wise. They were struggling, but they was, all right where they know where ends can meet and still can fit you in.
Or
It seemed like after that, there more teen pregnancies and teens having babies really put in perspective babies having babies, and it just kept getting younger and younger.
yep, it's got grandmas in their 30s now. But yo,
Yeah.
shoot, we already hit the 1 hour mark, man. You know what I'm saying? This been a good topic. Something that I think me and my bro can talk about for a while. I mean, we might even do a part two to this or elaborate or you know what I'm saying, to finish up. But we made it to the 1 hour mark, man. We're gonna keep it around that mark. We don't want to go too far with it. You know what I'm saying? Hold you guys too long. Maybe next time, in better situations and circumstances, we elaborate a little more. But bro, it's been good talking to you. Your takes was really dope, bro. I understand that you see things a little bit different than me. I wanted to speak in a more general sense, so I'm glad I got to be able to be the guy who speak on that, and I'm glad you was the guy who was able to speak on the other side of things. So I definitely appreciate your takes. Um, Obviously, we see the way the world's going right now, but hey, all we can do is pray and you know what I'm saying, raise our kids the way that we feel like they should be raised versus the way that society's gonna try to raise them. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you tonight, bro. And that's gonna be a wrap, man. I'm gonna holler at you soon. You know what I'm saying? Maybe tomorrow, whatever. We get back at it again, bro.
All right, most definitely.